That'll do it. Tough one to swallow for the Sixers as this 4-game Western swing comes to a sad conclusion.
Huge collision, no whistle. Suns come up with the ball. Bridges up ahead, risky pass. Booker, hello, he has 31.
I enjoy playing. I enjoy putting the work in. I enjoy waking up some morning, can barely walk out the door to get to practice. That just comes with it. But that's what I want people to understand. Like, it's not about the money. It's about I love to play the game. I love to prepare myself to play the game at this age.
Welcome to episode 21 of the Voice of Reason podcast. As usual, this is Joe.
And this is Lido.
And we're here with everything you need to know about the National Basketball Association. Now, Lido, I know you're feeling good about yourself.
I'm feeling great.
I know you're on top of the world right now. You're on cloud 9.
Yes.
The Phoenix Suns are currently 5-3 in the Western Conference. They have a winning record for what it feels like the first time this decade. Right now, if the playoffs were to begin right now, they will be in 7th place.
Yes.
Ahead of both the Minnesota Timberwolves and the San Antonio Spurs. I'm sure that's music to your ears.
Yes, music to my ear. And just like Leonardo DiCaprio when he was on the top of the ship and he's holding Kate, whatever her name is, I'm holding Booker and we're both yelling, "We're the king of the world!" That's what we're doing right now.
Okay, it's a terrible movie, just like it's a terrible team. All right, so you need to calm down. My question to you, Lido, is the Phoenix Suns. Why do you think, what is it about this team right now that's bringing them this early, and I want to stress, very early success? What is it?
One man and one man only. We finally got a coach. I've been saying it all the time that's all the Phoenix Suns needed, a coach, and they got Monty Williams. So this success is not because of Booker. We all love Booker. He's dropping 40. He dropped 40 on y'all, and he dropped it easily on y'all, and he gave y'all the first ever loss of the season, and that was music to my ear. And I actually left work early to see that, and I'm glad I did. But anyway, it's Monty Williams, then Devin Booker, the leadership, the team. He finally has a team. And of course, don't forget the guy that you criticized 2 episodes ago or 3 episodes ago. You were like, where is he? He didn't do anything against the Celtics with the Celtics. And my man's balling right now. Veins. You know him. But yeah, it's a combination of Monty Williams.
Okay.
Yes.
Just to let you know, you guys got blown out by the Miami Heat just 2 days ago as we're recording this podcast. So first of all, you need to calm down.
Yes.
Secondly, when you played the Philadelphia 76ers, a team that you will not see in the finals, which would really pretty much be the only other time you'll see them other than coming to Wells Fargo Center later this year, you're not going to be there, so we don't even care about y'all. Okay. And Joel Embiid, our best player, wasn't there. And don't give me DeAndre Ayton wasn't there, because DeAndre Ayton is not your best player. That's one thing. Another thing I want to tell you, too, is that Monty Williams came from the Philadelphia 76ers. You, sir, are welcome.
Yeah, but he came from OKC, too, all right?
But where was he at last?
Oh, yes.
Where did he really learn and hold those skills?
Oh, so now
that you guys
now we're praising Brett Brown's system. We're praising Brett Brown now. I'm telling you, this team is coming. I told you, they got a small forward, they got a good system, and they coming. And I feel like it's championship or bust at this time, all right?
Can you be honest honest with the people, and can you be honest with me? Would you tell me, are there any weaknesses on this team?
I see none. You know what's the only weakness? You know what's the only weakness?
You see no weaknesses.
That Ayton ain't there right now.
That's the only weakness.
There's
no other weakness on
I'm
this
looking
team.
at my power forward, Mr. Dario, the homie, all right? The small forward.
I'm very familiar with him.
All right, we all know about Oubre.
I'm very familiar with him also.
Okay.
Former
shooting
Washington
guard.
Wizard.
Who we got the shooting guard? Mr. Sixers killer, Devin Booker, all right? Okay. And when I actually saw that game, you can't lie. The announcers for the Sixers was like, my goodness, Devin Booker always, what's the word they said? Torch the Sixers. And it is true.
Is that what they said?
They said that. That's your guy. That's your guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, of course, our favorite point guard of point guards, Kobe Bryant saw something special in this kid. He told the world about this kid, and my goodness, Mamba was right, all right? Ricky Rubio, balling out. He dropped triple-double on y'all. He was shooting crucial threes against y'all. I know you saw that.
Okay.
And my baby was shining. The young king, I call him, all right?
All right. You know what, Lito? You're my boy, and I'm glad to see you so happy and on top of the world.
I am.
Because by All-Star break, when they're 10 games below 500, I'm going to torture you. It's gonna be rough, all right?
I can't
Now,
wait.
we all know that, your original team was the Houston Rockets.
Yes.
And then you switched over real quick to the
Real
Phoenix
quick.
Suns.
I can't
We
do it.
saw that. So you're going to definitely hear it when this Phoenix Suns team, show us who they really are, because I'm still convinced that they are who I thought they were.
No.
And that is the bottom feeders of the West. And I can't wait, Lito.
You're wrong.
I can't wait.
Shout out to the Brody, though. He's doing his thing over there in Houston. But yeah.
You know what's funny about Houston, though? I mean, I know it's not your team, but,
Of course, Brody, though.
whatever.
Yeah.
The funny thing about Houston is that a lot of people in the national media are saying, like, already that this experiment between Harden and Westbrook is a failure. They're 6-3 in the West. They're like 4th or 5th place.
Yeah.
So, and I told you before this season even started, like when we did our super early unnecessary playoff predictions.
Right.
That's right around where I thought they would be. So for me, I feel like they're coming on. Have you actually watched any of their games?
No, I stopped after game 1 or game 2. I'm done.
That was it.
Because I know they're gonna be a playoff team.
Lito ain't loyal.
Listen, I am loyal. Brody, you're my guy. You know it. He knows it. Why not? How he says, why not? But he's going to be in the playoff. It's just a matter of time. And what playoff comes out, I'll be all on board with the Brody.
Yeah, because the Suns won't be there.
No, we'll be in there.
That's what's going to happen.
He better pray that he won't see Booker.
I'm going to let the people know now. I'm going to let the
Booker.
people know now that is his plan. That is his evil plan.
No.
When the Phoenix Suns don't make the playoffs, end up finishing 12th or 13th place in the West, he's going to switch like he never switched before to the Houston Rockets, and all of a sudden it's going to be, let's go, Brody.
Remember what I told you last week, man?
What'd you tell me?
I saw the sun in Phoenix Sun, all right? I saw daylight now, and I'm all in. But let's talk about your Philadelphia 76ers. You want to come at me with my Phoenix Suns.
Actually, I didn't come at you at all. I asked some very nice questions.
Well,
I was very nice to you.
Yes, you were.
About the Phoenix Suns.
Time for me to be the heel that I am,
Why
all
do you
right?
gotta be the heel?
How does it feel? A team that does not have Ayton, a team that you say they're only going to win 14 games or maybe even less than that. Well, how many games you got
I didn't say that.
Well, you
I never predicted a number of games.
Well,
I just said they're not going to make the playoffs. They're going to be 11th, 12th, maybe in the West.
Okay, so how do you feel a team that's supposedly going to be 11 or 12 in the West? Actually, they prove you a little bit wrong because now you got them a little bit higher before.
Well,
15.
I don't have them. They're on the yeah, but they finished 15th last year, so there's only one place to go, and that's up. They can only go up from there.
How does it feel taking an L from the big young king? I call him Ricky Rubio because it was his show too.
Okay.
Booker played 40. He dropped 40 points, but Ricky Rubio did his thing. You can't deny that. How does it feel losing to them?
You want me to be honest?
Yes.
Do you want me to be completely honest?
Yes.
Do you want me to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, Leo?
And I can't handle the truth. So
you can handle it?
Bring it on.
Okay. Here's the truth. I don't care. You know why I don't care? Like I just told you, we're not going to be seeing you guys in the finals. So if you guys beat us on a long ass West Coast road trip, without Joel Embiid, I don't care. You know what I do care about though is I care about beating the Trailblazers like we did, which was great without Embiid, and I care about losing to the Nuggets the way that we did, which was horrible.
Yes.
But one thing, to go back to this whole Phoenix thing before we kind of move on with the rest of the whole Sixers topic, though, is one thing that you always say, as you said to these good people who listen to our podcast, you always say this. What is your thing you say about Ben Simmons and the Sixers? What do you say?
Give him the keys.
Okay. What happened when we gave him the keys against y'all? He had the keys.
Oh, so now...
No. I'm asking you, what happened during that game? You watched the game, right? It's probably the only Sixers game you actually watched this season. So what happened when we gave him the keys?
I saw a Ben Simmons that did not come up to the potential I wanted him to come up. I agree. But it's because Devin Booker was putting on the show. That's all it was. You can't. When a man is hot, a man is hot. When you have Ricky Rubio dropping threes,
That's not what I'm asking you. You're going way off script here.
I saw a passive.
I'm asking you about Ben Simmons. Is what I'm asking about.
Ben Simmons.
You always say give him the keys. We gave him the keys. He shot 2 for 8. Mind you, this man still hasn't taken a shot outside the paint this entire season, right? He shot 2 for 8, had 4 turnovers. He was nowhere to be found. We needed him. Did you notice the defense they were playing on him? Did you notice?
Yeah.
What were they doing?
The defense that every team does on
And what defense is that? Let the people know.
Let him be by himself at the 3-point and double in the
Not just 3-point. 3-point
anyway,
and mid-range.
Yeah, mid-range anyway.
Uh-huh. So, my question to you is how do you expect my team to give a player like that the keys? And how is that going to work? You said it yourself. Every single team defends us that way. When Ben Simmons is on the court, we play 4-on-5 on offense. That's what we play.
Yes.
Right? So how do you give a player the keys like that? Please, defend your boy.
He needs... Listen.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
Of course, I'm going to root against him.
And he still... Well, one more thing. He still shoots 60% from the line from the free throw line.
That's not bad.
That is terrible.
That's not bad.
That's Shaq numbers. Like, what are you talking about?
I know. I can't hate on Ben Simmons, man.
I'm not asking you to hate. I'm asking you to be honest.
I'm being honest with you. In the fourth quarter, he needed to take over. And he had... Obviously, he has the mismatch against Ricky Rubio. And even Devin Booker.
Obviously. And how much did he get paid?
I don't know. You guys paid him. Not,
I don't
make the checks.
$170 million.
So what are you saying? So every time y'all lose, it's Ben Simmons? Is that what's going on as a Sixers fan?
No.
When y'all lose, it's Ben. When y'all win, it's Embiid.
This is what's going on between me and you. Because if I hear you say, give him the keys one more time, you saw what happened when we give him the keys.
But
you always say that.
To his defense, who stepped up that night? We're just talking about the Suns game. Who stepped up that night?
Tobias Harris, he had a pretty good game.
He had a hell of a first half.
Big Al Horford had his first 30-point game since he was with Atlanta.
Yeah, but...
And if we had...
What about Richardson? Where was he?
No, Richardson had a good game, too.
No,
he did. He had, I think, something like 15 points.
Oh, that's a good game nowadays?
I mean, for him it is, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For Josh Richardson it is. But he's not being paid $170 million. He's not the guy who's supposed to be at least the second best player on this team. And if he had actually played a good game or even just an okay game, we would have been able to beat you guys because we didn't get blown out by the Phoenix Suns, even without Joel Embiid.
Well,
it was a close game, even with his 40 points.
Well, let me just say this, all right? Mm-hmm. You can't be rocking AIs and only dropping 15 points. Right?
I like that.
Because
I can't even argue with that.
Know, that is a 9.
Can't even argue
that
with
is a 10. That is an 11.
He wore the wrong
sneaks. He wore the wrong sneaks that night. He even had the braids looking like little AI. And he only dropped 15 points. Like, come on, man. Come on.
But you know what, though? That's his MO. Like, he's our starter, but he's a role player. He's not, like, a star player on this team. The people who we need to step up are Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris. Those are the ones that we've paid. Those are the contracts that keep us from making our team deeper. Those are the reasons why this team has no shooters. Those are the reasons why I'm sitting at the 87ers home opener tonight looking for a possible shooter to bring back to Brett Brown because this team needs shooters.
Scouting. But let's talk about that. After that Suns whooping, y'all took another loss.
Yeah, we did.
Back to back.
We sure did.
Back. Y'all took a loss to a team that you're high on right now on the West Side, the Jazz.
Utah Jazz,
yes.
Yeah.
And that was only a 2-point game. And then you took a loss from one of the best jump shot clutch game this season so far. The buzzer beater of buzzer beaters. Yeah, the shot that was heard around the world.
You're really hyping it up right now.
I have to.
You
by
don't have
the
to.
best center in the NBA, in my humble opinion, all right?
Did you watch the game?
Hold on, can I say his name? Nikola Jokovic.
Did you watch the game?
I just saw the buzzer beater, all right?
Okay.
I unfortunately was working, and all I saw was the whole world talking about the shot of shots, all right?
Now, let me tell you something about this. First of all, like I've been telling you this entire season, your boy's gotten a little fluffy. And like you want to talk about the announce team? about talking about Devin Booker. The announce team said the same thing about him.
Really?
Serena Winter, Ala Abernathy, Mark Zumoff, they all did the same thing. Like, it looked like he was eating too many donuts over the summer. What's going on? His conditioning looks a little off. In the first quarter, he actually did look pretty tired. I will admit that buzzer beater was...
Yes.
I mean, it was what it was. It was what won the game.
Yeah.
I will say that. I will say another thing, too. At the very end of that game, Joel Embiid was called for an offensive foul. There was like 1.2 seconds left on the clock. We passed the ball in. Embiid was by himself underneath the basket, and he got called for an offensive foul.
Oh, man.
Unfortunately, we were already out of challenges because Brett Brown had challenged something a couple minutes before and he had lost, so we couldn't even challenge it. But the game after report that they give about the refs and the games came out today.
Yeah.
And that report said that foul should have never been called on Joel Embiid.
Wow.
So, if that foul hadn't been called, Joel Embiid was fired at basket, he would have hit a layup, we would have won that game.
Oh, my goodness.
But, let me finish. That being said, that is absolutely, positively not the reason why we lost
There
that
you
game.
go.
That was ridiculous. We were up 20 points in the fourth quarter in that game. And what we did is what these new age modern NBA teams do all the time because everybody thinks they're Steph Curry and James Harden.
Yes.
We started jacking up threes. In the fourth quarter, we went 1 for 8 from 3-point land. And the times that we actually missed those shots were one and done possessions. And I'm sitting there, I'm watching the whole game, literally screaming at my TV, for the love of God, for the love of all that is good and holy, stop shooting threes. Elton Brand built a team that is supposed to be focused on defense, a big, long team, right? So if you build a 20-point lead, this team has no shooters. Why in the blue hell are you shooting threes? Let me finish.
No, go ahead.
That's what you're doing. And what we did was we shot ourselves out of that game. I saw it coming. As soon as we started doing it, Big Al was shooting air balls. I understand he doesn't want to be a center. He wants to play power forward. I get that. But, dude, what are you doing? It was ridiculous. And we honestly deserved to lose that game. We were up 20 points. We didn't have Ben Simmons, our other quote-unquote star player. So it was nice being out there in the high altitude and having that lead. But if you can't finish the game, you can't finish the game. And you know who I blame for that?
Oh, here we go.
You know who I blame?
Here we go.
You know whose fault this is?
Brett Brown?
That is his name. Say his name!
Brett Brown?
That is his name. That was horrible coaching. How can you sit there on the sidelines and watch what's happening and not stop that? Not pull your team aside and be like, listen, Big Al. Your name is Big freaking Al.
Yeah.
Get in the post. What are you doing? You are shooting air balls. You are shooting bricks. What are you doing? It was insane. I'm sorry.
And I didn't mean to interrupt, but that reminded me that y'all loss was one of the biggest upset, like comeback, maybe this year or history-wise for the franchise. I remember I got the alert that stated Sixers blow the biggest lead in franchise history.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not totally sure, but that was a big lead that y'all had. And I just want to say one thing, all right? You talk about Embiid being better than Djokovic, all right? And I laugh to that because I'm looking at the stats. And that night, Embiid dropped 15 rebounds and 19 points. But my guy, the fluffy guy, quote-unquote fluffy guy,
it's not quote-unquote,
dropped
he's fluffy.
10 rebounds and 26 points and the shot of shots, all right? So another point for me when it comes to best centers in the league.
It's not.
Because when you're going one-on-one with the best center, you got to outperform them and win. And who outperformed and who took the W?
That's one
That's
game.
what I'm
When you're talking
Just
about,
answer the question.
When you're talking,
question.
When you're talking about the best center in the league, you have to actually look at the entire season. And so, what you're saying right now is that Jokic scored 7 more points at home, mind you, than he did, but he got 5 fewer rebounds. So,
but to win a
to
championship,
me, it's kind of even.
To win the championship, you got to win on the road.
What is the Phoenix?
I'm looking at the road trip. They went 0-3 for the Sixers. We have a problem, all right?
Interesting. What does the Phoenix Suns fan know about winning championships? Well, tonight, we actually have a new segment here that we are going to premiere on The Voice of Reason, and that is our Fast Break segment, Lido. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to ask each other a series of rapid-fire questions. We are going to put 3 minutes on the clock.
Wait a minute.
minute. What? Did I just hear myself say 3 minutes?
Starting now. So, Lito, D'Lo dropped 50 points in a loss the other night. Can he save the Warriors season?
Oh my God, is this really a question?
Of course it is.
Hell no. They're not making the playoff, all right?
Yeah.
Now, Blake Griffin is set to make his season debut this Monday. Are you excited? Do you believe in my number 4th pick for playoff bound?
Look at my face. This is not my excited face. Blake Griffin doesn't matter. He'll be injured by, next month. Kyle Lowry, he is from Philly, and your guy, Mr. Serge Ibaka, are both injured for the Toronto Raptors, who actually had a pretty good start to this season. Do you think that their injuries will maybe kind of derail their whole playoff push this year?
Serge Ibaka, we worry, all right? But Kyle Lowry, come on, man. We have Van Vliet. We're all right, all right?
You're good?
If I'm a Toronto fan, we all right. We have Van Vliet, all right? This past week, we witnessed Walker face his former team, Charlotte Hornets. Mm-hmm. Do you think the Charlotte Hornets should have gave Kemba Walker the max and kept him?
Absolutely not. Nobody wants to come to Charlotte. If you give him all that money, you'll sell tickets, but you're not going to win anything. You got to build through the draft. So,
what?
Lito, if you had to start a franchise today, who would you take number 1? Trae Young or your boy, Luka Doncic, both of whom have been balling out this season. Who you got?
Can I skip this question?
No, you can't skip. This is rapid fire. Let's go.
Trae Young. I know I might regret it, but Trae Young, all right? Trae Young.
Let's do it.
All right? That was a hard question, man.
It's rapid fire. These are hard questions.
Is it too early to say that the Celtics are the team to beat in the East, being though God Stevens has them 7-1 right now?
Way too early. Gordon Hayward, surprise, surprise, just broke his hand. Who knows how long he's going to be out for again. So, yes, way too early for them damn Celtics.
Damn it.
Lakers are rolling as the number 1 team in the West, tied with the number 1 record in the league. Do you still think that they're going to finish in 5th place, Lito?
Oh, my goodness. This is quick, so I'm not going to say too much. But look, LeBron, like I predicted, he MVP right now. He's showing it, all right? But yes, I'm very shocked. But Rondo's coming back this Monday, so maybe the team is going to have a dick fuck show. So who knows? And lastly, my last question to you, sir. Mm-hmm. 3 weeks in the season, and reports are coming in that Kawhi Leonard is not fully healthy. Are you surprised by this, by Kawhi Leonard not being fully healthy?
100% I am not surprised by anything that weirdo does.
All right, that was fun. Time is up.
I had fun. And by the way, I actually agree with you. I would pick Trae.
You would play, yeah, for real.
I definitely would pick Trae, 100%.
My
I like
goodness.
Luka has been balling out too. I love both of them, but what Trae is doing is just he's amazing.
It's
amazing
hard.
to watch.
It's hard because Luka, that game where he went against LeBron, it felt for a moment. I know that was
the game of the season so far.
Yeah, I
That's
feel
the best
like
game
that
of the year
was
so
like
far.
the pass of the torch somehow. Like it
No,
felt.
ain't nobody passing the
I know,
torch
but
yet.
it felt like LeBron
Ain't nobody passing
and
the torch
Luka were there. But anyway, on June 5th, 2019, Vince Carter announces that he will retire, that this season will be his last season. Mr. Vinsanity, Mr. Air Canada, half man, half amazing, is hanging up his 22 years career in the NBA.
Wow.
May I say it again?
Please.
22 years, by the way. That's a record, by the way. He holds that.
It is. Beat out Kevin Willis and Dirk and Kevin Garnett and all them.
And he's the first player to play in 4 different decades.
Because he's old.
No, but come on, man. Vinsanity. How do you feel about Mr. Vince Carter? Is he a Hall of Famer?
Well, since we have Grant Hill in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, damn.
And we have Tracy McGrady in the Hall of Fame.
Shots
My
fired.
guy. Love that guy.
Shots fired.
They're going to put Vince Carter in the Hall of Fame.
Because they got Grant Hill and Tracy McGrady.
Just because he played 22 years and he was able to accomplish a lot of career stats. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, do I believe he's a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
If I had a vote, I would say no.
Why? How dare you? Because he don't got a championship win?
No, that's not why.
Well, what is it?
You want to know? You really want me to do this?
Just tell me.
Do you really want me to do this, Lito? You really want me to do this?
Just do it.
I don't want to, but I want to have to because you asked the question.
Just do it.
People call him half man, half amazing.
He is.
His real name is half man, half never made out the second round. I'm sorry, but Vince Carter is the second, maybe, no, I would say not second. I would say the third most overrated player of the past 20 years. Number 1 is Ray Allen. Number 2 is Carmelo Anthony. And number 3 on that list is Cincinnati, Mr. Vince Carter. Vince Carter is a knockoff version of the human highlight reel, Mr. Dominique Wilkins. The only difference between them is that Dominique was actually a better player for most of his career. Like, he was a better shooter, he was a better leader. What has Vince Carter accomplished in his career other than staying around for 22 years? Which in itself, I agree, is an accomplishment. And by doing that, yes, he has made his way up on the all-time points list. But besides that, please tell me, besides that and like the dunk contest and the dunk highlight reels, what else has he done that makes you think that he should be a Hall of Famer? Please.
First of all, you said dunk contest. He won the dunk contest in 2000. Slam winner. 1999 Rookie of the Year, Vince Carter.
So was Michael Carter Williams.
Hold on. And 8 times. By the way, 8 is my favorite number. 8 times All-Star. All right. And he has 2 gold medals. That right there itself is Hall of Fame. Mind you, adding the 22 years of experience. Mind you, another thing, Toronto Raptors became popular because of what? Because of Vince Carter. If I'm Toronto Raptors, I'm putting a statue out there
for
Vince Carter.
He deserves it.
He opened up the gates for that team and that franchise. Like, everybody started caring about Toronto Raptors because of Vince Carter.
He definitely deserves a statue. And his jersey should be retired in that building too, but if it isn't already. It probably isn't. He's still playing. But once he retires, I mean, his jersey should be retired in that building. Absolutely.
Yep. And then with the New Jersey Nets, he had a good run with Jason Kidd, Richard Jefferson. I mean, obviously they didn't win the championship, but it was entertaining.
Yeah, they didn't get past the second round on those teams.
And then he had a good
the first round most of those years.
Yeah.
Most of those years they didn't make the playoffs.
He had a hell of a season, but this is kind of when Vince Carter started slowing down, when he went to the Suns and Dallas. But those 2 teams, that was his last hoorah moments after he went to Memphis, Sacramento, and the Hawks. But he had a great career, and more importantly, this guy had been a veteran. He's been a professional. He's been the best example as a teammate. No off-the-court drama, no off-the-court thing that I can remember. And that itself deserves Hall of Fame worthy. And mind you, don't you ever disrespect Carmelo again, because Carmelo.
I like about Vince Carter.
Said, hold on, you thought you were just gonna say it. Overrated. Carmelo, 3 times gold medal. All right, 3 times. And
I'll put it to you this way. Even though I do believe that Ray Allen is overrated, Ray Allen is absolutely a Hall of Famer.
I don't like Ray Allen, so I'm not going to defend him. But he is
absolutely a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Even though I don't particularly care for Carmelo Anthony, I would put him in the Hall of Fame because those 3 gold medals that he has, he was actually one of the main reasons why they won those gold medals.
Say it again, please.
And he is a champion from his days at Syracuse. And his career accomplishments as far as getting to the Western Conference Finals with Denver.
Yes.
And also his records that he holds as far as the points that he scored and things like that. That resume together, for me, makes him just squeaking in as Hall of Fame worthy. But when you talk to me about Vince Carter, I understand he has 2 gold medals, but he wasn't the guy on either of those gold medal teams. He wasn't. Okay. And you know it's true. He never made it past the second round. The closest he got was in 2001 when the answer, Allen Iverson, beat him in Game 7, which was actually a great game. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Beat him. That's the furthest he has ever gotten in the playoffs. And for me, I don't believe in the Hall of Very Good. I believe that Hall of Fame means that in that Hall of Fame, you should have the best players to have ever played your game in there. I think baseball does a great job about that. I think football does a pretty good job about that. I think basketball does a terrible job about that. There are a lot of people in the Hall of Fame who I look at them, I'm like, really? You're really in the Hall of Fame? And Vince Carter is one of those guys, to be perfectly honest with you. When you look at his actual career accomplishments, other than his highlights and his longevity, you don't really see there's no meat there. There's no substance there. It's just highlights and it's just points and it's just him going from city to city, leading teams to the first round of playoffs. How is that a Hall of Fame resume? I agree. In order to make the Hall of Fame, you do not need to win a championship. I think it's unfair that we just put that much emphasis on championships. But if you don't have a championship, you need to have some all-time records, and you need to have like a deep run into a playoffs. And by deep, I mean at least make it to your conference finals, or at least make it to your finals, even if you lost. You got to at least get there, being the main guy leading that team to get there. And if you don't have all those, I don't think your resume is good enough. And his resume is not good enough, in my opinion.
Well, he has an all-time record of 22 years, so that's something there. And that means something. We can't brush that off.
That's longevity, but that's not Hall of Fame worthy.
And him being a professional, that means something. Him being Rookie of the Year, that means something.
To be a professional.
Him winning 2
Michael Carter
gold
Williams
star.
was Rookie of the Year.
Gold medal. I said gold star. Winning 2 gold medals means something, all right? He an eight-time All-Star. That is something. Especially back then in the East, it used to be very, very hard back then. Not now.
How many? But see, All-Stars are nice and all. But how many like All NBA teams did he make? How many All NBA defensive teams did he make? Those are the things that matter. I
want to say like 22.
I want to say you're wrong. That's what I want to say. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but for me, if I know he's going to get in. Yeah. I'm sure he's going to get in. But if they gave me a vote, Lito, he wouldn't be in. It's time for our topic roulette segment, Mr. Lito. And we all know what that segment is. That's when I give you 3 topics.
Can't wait.
You pick one that you think is the most interesting topic for us to talk about. All right, you ready?
I'm ready. I can't wait. Spin that wheel.
Here's your choices. Dirty laundry.
Ooh.
MIA.
MIA, that sounds like Embiid.
30,000 feet.
Wow. Okay. I do hate dirty laundry, so let's go to dirty laundry right now. I want to see what's
dirty laundry
about. Yes.
Okay.
What's this about?
All right. So this topic is about your guy, Mr. Kawhi Leonard.
Oh my goodness!
So there has been a whole debate over this past week about load management in the NBA because Kawhi Leonard has missed 2 out of, well, at the time of this recording, he's missed 2 out of 8 games that he's actually played for quote unquote load management. And both of the games that he missed were on national television games. So I just pretty much have a simple question about this. What do you think about the whole concept of load management? And what do you think about Kawhi Leonard missing 2 games out of 8 so early in the season?
I'm okay with it. Mm-hmm. I'm okay with it. This old mindset that we have, the Michael Jordan, the Kobe Bryant, it's just not today's NBA. It hasn't been. It hasn't been for a couple years now. Actually, ever since LeBron been in the league, it feels like
LeBron plays more than anybody.
I know he does.
Don't put this on LeBron. LeBron plays more than as a matter of fact, LeBron James is the healthiest NBA player I've ever seen in my life. I have never seen somebody go through their career play at such a high level, being that healthy for that long. It's amazing.
Mind you, the crabs, though, the little crabs.
the crab dribble. And the cramps.
Yeah, the cramps.
the cramps.
But no,
a crab dribble.
I feel like it's been maybe a good like 5 years or 7 years. I don't know, maybe a decade now that we feel like players, they rest up. Greg Popovich's play a lot of effect on now, having players rest up. But I like it. We see what Kawhi Leonard did 2 years ago, sitting out the whole year, and look what happened.
Turning his back on his team. I remember.
No.
Turning his thigh.
Well, look,
whatever was wrong with his thigh. Turning that on his team.
Kevin Durant learned from I'm gonna call him the great Kawhi Leonard because that was a great power move that he did, and it got him a championship. And now Kevin Durant learned from that, and he's sitting out all year no matter what. And
that's not load management, though. That's him recovering from an Achilles tear.
Of course, but he don't want to risk it either, so he's sitting out the whole year.
There was never a chance of him coming back. I know he said that on first take, like anybody thought was a chance, but from an Achilles tear, it takes a full year for you to get back from that. There's no way he was going to play.
But I feel like I'm okay with Kawhi sitting out. Yes, you're right. It's only 8 games or 3 weeks now.
Yeah, 2 out of 8 games.
It's fine, but the thing that pisses me off about this is he decided to do it right after the Phoenix game. Mm-hmm. And when we saw the Phoenix game, clearly, we got to agree on this. Clearly, something is wrong with Kawhi because in that game, it was pretty weird that he wasn't playing like the Kawhi that we know.
And he sat out most of the fourth quarter.
He sat out most on the fourth quarter, and we were like, why is he not playing
That's
right
some
now?
load management right there.
Yes. So I'm okay with it. That's today's NBA, unfortunately.
Do you want to hear what Jalen Rose thinks?
What did that has been said?
Hey, you show some
I'm
respect.
sorry.
Jalen Rose is the most reasonable NBA analyst out there.
Yeah,
he's no Paul Pierce.
Yeah, he let Kobe drop 81, but go ahead.
He did.
Go ahead.
He did. All right, so this is Jalen Rose. Fans and media should take the blame for load management because you guys have shown players that you don't care about the journey, the 82-game season. You care about the destination. You dumb it down so very much that the regular season becomes irrelevant to you and how you analyze players, and you only talk about how many championships people have won.
You know what? I take my hands.
No, he's cool.
Hold on.
It wasn't him defending Kobe. It was a team effort.
I think
he
it was
got
someone-
81 on the team now.
I think Jalen Rose got switched with the pick and roll and was coming off late on the
You're
screen.
probably right. They did
And
switch a lot. Yes.
I'm cool with Jalen. I'm cool with him. All right.
So you agree with what he said?
I agree with what he said exactly. It's true. And what we care about when we talk about the GOAT conversation or who has the most rings, we always talk about championships.
That's a big part of it.
You hate Carmelo because you just talk about Vince Carter. Oh, what did he do? He never won a championship, never passed the second round. That's what people do.
But winning a championship and not passing the second round are two different things.
True.
That's
agree.
two different things.
I agree. I like Chris Paul. But
It's true.
yeah.
But when you look at Chris Paul's total career, he did make it to the Western Conference Finals, and he does have the stats, and he's known as one of the best point guards that's ever actually
Yeah,
played.
he made it because of James Harden, but that's a different story.
Gotcha.
But yes, I agree with him. Okay. What do you agree with this too, or I feel like this is
I
an
both
easy topic.
agree and I disagree with it. I agree with what you're saying. That I do believe that load management is great, and the NBA season is a grind. And people who when you look on the internet and people call into these radio shows that you hear, people talking about if I was getting paid that kind of money, I'd play all 82 games, and I'd be happy about it, as if they've ever stepped foot on an NBA court. NBA basketball is one of the most physically grueling sports, probably the most physically grueling sport. They are running up and down the court all the time that they are on there. You know, and these are big guys, these are tall guys. It takes a lot on your legs, on your joints, on your ankles, on your shoulders. These guys play hurt and they play injured every single night. So we cannot denigrate what they do and how difficult it is. So I do believe that load management is actually a good thing, especially for veteran players. If you've been in the league for a while, load management can extend your career. That's what Pop did with his guys, like you brought up, with Manu and Tony Parker and
Kawhi.
Tim Duncan. And Kawhi.
Yeah, Kawhi.
And we got years more of those guys who we all love because of what they were doing. So in that sense, I'm fine with load management. I don't need anybody to play 82 games. I don't want Joel Embiid to play 82 games.
Yeah.
I'll be fine if he plays around 66, 67. I'll be fine with that.
Yep.
I mean, not play games because of suspension. Let's not do that anymore.
Yeah.
But, just general load management and the rest, I'm fine with that. And to be even more real with everybody who's listening and you, this isn't something new. It used to be players used to load manage themselves. Shaq will tell you. That's a test case there. Shaq will tell you, he is so forthright about this, that there were so many nights in his career that he would fake an injury just because, he was tired that night, or he didn't feel like playing, or there was something else that he wanted to do. He always tells the story about he had this wild birthday party planned one night for himself. So he was trying to get himself fouled out of the game so that way he'd be able to rest up for this party that he was going to have. But that's real though. And if you think Shaq is the only person who thought like that back in the days when everybody was Iron Man and played 82 games, he most certainly was not. Players back in the day used to take nights off all the time. Yeah. So anybody that tells you that players today are soft because they actually do it in a more structured, medically, cleared way, that holds no water to me. Because the players back then were just taking random nights off because they were tired, because something was hurting them, because they didn't feel like playing. That used to happen all the time in the NBA. So I'm actually I actually appreciate this more because I believe it's something that's actually more upfront. And it's not like, you're pretending that something is wrong. You're actually letting the fans know what's going on. But here's the problem that I have with load management, the way they're doing it, though, and the way that Pop did it, and the way that I'm seeing it done now. The NBA, to kind of get in the weeds a little bit, the NBA has a revenue split between the leagues and the players that's almost 50-50, which means that the more money the league makes and the more money the league generates, the more money goes to the players. Right? Mm-hmm. So the main way, or one of the biggest ways that the league makes money is with television contracts. These national TV games that we see on Wednesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays and coming soon, probably Tuesdays and Sundays too, that is how the league makes money. So if you're going to do load management on somebody, do not sit them on a national TV game. That is ridiculous. Like, what you're doing is you're putting in jeopardy future revenue of the league. Because when it comes time to renegotiate these television contracts, they're going to look at the league talking about, every time we have a national game, your guy's sitting out for load management. And you want us to pay how many $1 billion for this? No, we're paying so these star players can play on these games. So for me, if you're going to do that, and like, they have this thing where Kawhi's not going to play the first game of a back-to-back. If it's a national TV game and you know it's going to be one of those games that back-to-back, just have them play the other game that's not on national TV.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be like that? Like, it has to be so rigid. If you know your first game of a back-to-back is a national TV game, play that game and then sit out the next night. Yeah. That's the part of it, to me, that I think is short-sighted by the players and by the coaches. And the league really needs to step in on that. They need to make a rule. Like, listen, no load management for national TV games. This is how we get paid.
Yeah.
And they're losing money from the whole China thing now too, right? Mm-hmm. They got $4 billion that's in jeopardy because of China. So, like, I feel like now you want to be even more on that.
I agree. And you know what's crazy, though? At the end of the day, what you want as a fan is your best player to be healthy to compete for a championship. And that's how it should be. Just like you said with Embiid, he wants to be a champion, right? Mm-hmm. If he's not feeling that good, let him sit out.
That's fine. But, like, if he's just sitting out because of rest or load management, he shouldn't be doing it on a national TV game. He shouldn't. That, like, if you're going to do that, if you're on national TV, but that's what makes the league money. That is their biggest revenue source. And that's the way, and you know, too, like we were saying earlier in this podcast, fans aren't just about teams. Fans are about players. So especially casual fans will tune in to see certain players. And Kawhi, now that he's, won championships and he's got all these endorsements and commercials, he's becoming the face of the league. So you want him on those national TV games. Those are not the games that you want to sit out. And if you have another option, just sit out the next game. Like, I don't understand why it has to be those games. And it kind of feels like they're doing it on purpose at this point.
Well, I hope not. And I think by law or by rules or whatever, they're not supposed to sit out on national games. At least the best starter. And clearly the best star right now is Kawhi Leonard.
It's not. So he shouldn't be sitting out. It's not a rule.
No, for national games, they should play. And supposedly they were going to nip that in the bud. If they're away from the road as well, they have to play no matter what, unless obviously they're really injured. Yeah. But just to sit out on away games, they were going to nip that in the bud because LeBron used to do that, and a lot of players used to do that as well.
LeBron never did that.
We gotta.
You're thinking about like Tim Duncan and those guys. LeBron never did that.
But LeBron did it with Miami.
What?
He sat out a couple times with Miami and later with the Cleveland.
But he actually had issues though. LeBron, like I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna seriously tell you, like LeBron is an Iron Man. If LeBron is healthy, LeBron will play. But like
LeBron ain't Kobe, bro.
Popovich used to do that all the time.
Yes.
He used to do that all the time, and that would irritate the hell out of me. Like, I would be sitting there ready, got my popcorn ready to watch one of these Saturday night games, because they used to always be on that Saturday night ABC game, right? Yeah. And he would always sit them, and it used to piss me off.
Yeah. You're right. And you know what? Back in the day, the game wasn't faster than what it is now. The game is super fast, and they're athletic as hell, but they need body rest as well. They needed it
back then too, and they took it back then. That was the point that I was trying to make too. Anybody that tells you that like back then they were somehow stronger and they could deal with it more, it's not true. They used to take games off, but they would lie about it. That's what it was. And also, just to kind of wrap this up, just to let everybody know, the Clippers did get fined $50,000 for the last time they sat Kawhi Leonard out. Yeah. They did. Because originally the league was on board with it, but then Doc Rivers opened his big stupid mouth again He did the same thing last season when he was talking about Kawhi, got the team fined.
Yeah.
And he got them fined $50,000.
Well, to me, let them rest, all right? Let them rest, because at the end of the day, all we care is about championship. What have you done for me when it matters? And that's it. All right, it's time to unplug the mics and shut the lights. Settle down. We'll be back another night.
This is Joe.
And this is Lido.
You have a great night.
Bye-bye.